women were so jealous of Ashlee Janae that they don't even realize how hypocritical they're being in some of these crazy statements they're making, especially the women and especially the black women. I've been seeing all these like obtuse think pieces of people saying, oh, the signs were there, she should have known it was too good to be true, this is what happens when you chase money, and people are ignoring the fact that they were literally like in a long-term relationship. You guys are acting like this girl just got on a random plane and went to some random country with some random rich guy. That's not what happened. And the hypocrisy is crazy because when I see some of these outlandish takes made by these women, I click on their profile. Some of you are literally single mothers. All of you got in that situation because you've been lied to and played by a man. You single-handedly know how it feels to get played by someone that you cared for, someone that you love, but you pass on the same hypocrisy. The only difference between you and her is you were left with a baby and unfortunately her life was taken. And you don't even need to be a single mother to understand that. A lot of women have been played by men, heartbroken. You guys were jealous of her and you just need to be honest with that fact, because these statements that you're making, and if we then go look into your history.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So guys, looks like I'll start making loads of these deep dive videos. So guys, so we're back at it again. Guys, this Ashlee Janae situation here, I've been actually trying to avoid it for a while, not to speak on it, and actually I've actually been busy. But guys, today we're gonna speak on it. We're gonna speak on it. We're also gonna speak on Caitlyn Jenner. Guys, I don't know what is wrong with Trump supporters. Oh my god, how can you, like, you see guys, this is why I'm not against people who are rich. I'm not against people who are who've got money, who can do what they want to do with their money. Guys, what I'm against is, like, I'm not even against anything. The thing is, I've tried and I've learned to bottle up my frustration when it comes to people actually voting against their best interests. Because how can you be upset like that you voted for what you voted for, and what you voted for is manifesting and you're angry? We're going to talk about it in deep details, guys. We're going to talk about it. So guys, this video is going to be a long one. Please sit tight, just sit tight. And I also want to speak on what this woman has been saying, of course the first speaker of the video. Guys, from the first video, yeah, when you see this couple, you actually see how tight they are. You see how tight they are. You see, and this is a question people are raising, talking about, oh, if because she got married to this man, that's why it's happening. There are a lot of things I'm going to discuss on this video as it goes along, guys. So please, let's just listen to the next person's opinion on this Ashlee Janae's matter. But it just goes to show that I really love the first speaker. I love what she draws attention to the fact that people are going for the rich guy lifestyle. Guys, all men are dangerous. And I saw this TikTok video where a woman was talking about saying the Ashlee Janae situation has nothing to do with the fact that the man is a rich man or the man is a broke man. Guys, it doesn't matter what has happened to this Ashlee Janae situation. I'm not gonna go be with a man that is broke because it's this perceived peace of mind. Guys, please, when we talk about women wanting rich partners, especially women wanting rich partners, please, can we not make it to a situation where I said, oh, maybe she should have chosen a man who is not rich, a man who likes her, maybe it would have been different. Guys, it never would have been different. It never would have been different. And I don't like when people bring up this topic of, that is actually very insensitive, you know. It's very insensitive and people need to stop. People need to stop. People need to stop. You can't be saying, oh, maybe if she would have married a man, it's just crazy. And if you go to that video where she's talking about how she left Mr. A for Mr. B, maybe apparently the Mr. B is more, of course, allegedly killed her. But are we, like, for example, are we gonna say people under the comment sections on that videos were saying, oh, you shouldn't have left Mr. A, you shouldn't have left Mr. A. Guys, Mr. A would still have killed her regardless. Can't we agree that violence against women is dangerous? We're also going to cover the 62 million men who search online on how to abuse their partners. How are we going to, like, guys, come on. Men are always going to have this propensity to be very evil. They're always going to have the propensity to be evil. And there's this woman in the UK who was giving a talk at Oxford, because Oxford, of course, guys, if you're in the UK, in the UK, we know that Oxford is one of the top unis. Guys, if you're watching me maybe in any part of the world, I live, of course, in England, so Oxford Uni is one of the best, let's say, in the UK, one of the best universities in the UK, and probably number 8 on the world's best university in the world. So, they do also have these talks like the Oxford Union, where they give their thoughts on topics or trending topics. Guys, I'll proudly say to you that, what can I say? I'll proudly say to you that it does not matter, guys. It does not matter. It never has mattered and it never will matter, guys. It does not matter. It never will matter. Whether you say, oh, if she would have done this, if she would have done that, she still would have maybe been alive today. It's a lie. When you've got 62 million men, we're going to talk about that in this video in a more deeper way. 62 million men searching how to abuse their wives sexually. Guys, what are we talking about? 62 million men searching how to abuse their wives sexually? Like, the thing is so crazy, guys. I'm scared. And that is why when women choose the bear, guys, we are not choosing the bear because the bear is not dangerous. We are choosing the bear because we would rather that bear kill us, because we can now explain in our own fucked up understanding that at least if that bear is killing us, we can at least come to terms that that bear does not have the reasoning capacity of a human being. Because for you to be a fully fledged human being and have the capacities to still harm someone, of course we're going to choose the bear, because at least we can rationalize it that, oh, at least it was an animal, it was a wild animal. Than rather it be a wild animal than to be a fully fledged human being who's got the brain cells to know right from wrong and still goes ahead to act like an animal who is like not a Homo sapien. So there's a lot of things I need to talk. And when she talked about the single mothers, I mean, there was a little bit of stereotypical stuff there about the single mothers and everything. Guys, to me, there's nothing wrong with being a single mother. But if we want to talk about, oh, you should have seen signs. Hello? What signs are you talking about? There are some times that we see red flags and we go in, and there are some times that those people are good at pretending enough. What about poor broke people who have I'm talking like a Nigerian, who have killed their wives because they're jealous of them? So whether it's broke or rich, it's not gonna work. It never has worked for women. So guys, I'm going to play other clips and you're going to watch people's opinion about it. And I'm also going to give my opinion about it. We're going to see how are well things, So guys, please just stay tight.
He also has a history of being violent and abusive. He is divorced from his previous wife recently with multiple children under 4. Now we do know, and I'm not going to reveal her identity, who I did a little bit of soul searching. I went down a rabbit hole, and I was able to find the wedding when Joe married his first wife in 2018. And I found it very odd that the article starts off when she said this was the toughest decision of her life. Yeah. She has a father, but she was tasked with the decision of walking down the aisle alone or allowing her father to walk her down the aisle.
Yeah, he refused.
I'm gathering that from the influence of Joe, He convinced her to walk down the aisle. And as she came down the aisle, in that moment, she said he promised her, you will never have to walk alone in life again. Watch this, 2018. Only for him to leave her
pregnant
in 2021 while she was pregnant with their second child.
In a nutshell, beautiful, sweet Ashlee, young girl who thought she knew the world and did not.
And when this woman says, oh, she thought she knew the world and she did not. Guys, do we even all know the world? And I do think, like this Ashlee Janae situation, just keeps reminding people that no matter how old you are, no matter how what you are, you're never gonna know, are you? You're never gonna know. And it's so sad that even me, at the age of where I'm more than 25, I'm still not knowing the world. Ashlee is 31. Ashlee Janae is 31. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Holy Spirit, have mercy. That's all I can say. Are you for real? So, are you trying to... Guys. Wow.
I ain't trying to be funny, I swear I ain't. But white men do not know how to break up with nobody. Either you gonna come up missing or you gonna come up gone. You gotta break up with them in church or something, at the house of the Lord. Don't you try to break up with no white man on vacation, at home. You gotta break up with them at a family reunion or at Disney World in front of everybody. They definitely don't know how to break up with no black woman. They get all that good black and then you try to leave them. You done invited them to the cookhouse. They got to enjoy all of the black shit that we offer and season their food all good. They licking their fingers and shit after they eat. They ain't did no shit like that before. They ain't finna let you leave them, not without a fight. And when you break up with them, make it a clean cut. Don't be trying to go back to the house where I forgot my toothbrush. That ain't just interracial with white men. They doing it to the white women too. White men break up with women like lesbians break up with women. They gonna shoot you, fight you, stump you, whatever they got to do to make motherfuckers stop breathing. And I ain't trying to be funny. I'm dead serious. Look it up. Look up the statistics. I ain't saying don't date them. I'm just saying don't break up with them. You gotta be with them for life. Or break up with them at church on Easter Sunday where everybody there. Ain't one doubt in my mind that man had something to do with that beautiful young lady's death in Tanzania. A lot of people saying Ashlee Janae would still be here if she would have never got with that white man. Well, not necessarily. I hate to be the black man to deliver this news, but there's a higher rate of black men killing their wives than it is white men. There's more cases of white men killing their wives because there's a lot more white men than there are black men. But the rate is higher with black men. So what I gather from this is damn near no woman is safe. Y'all gonna have to start being lesbians or something because these men out here killing y'all at an alarming rate. Don't matter if you're black, white, I need to check and see what the damn Asian men doing. What y'all doing? And I already know about the Mexicans because they don't call the tank tops wife beaters for nothing. And women, when you be dating, stop letting these men get all these different chainsaws and all these different garden tools, bringing them up in the house. They damn near plotting on you. They about to help bury your ass while you sitting up, oh yeah, he going to Home Depot. Tell him to come from Home Depot. You wouldn't be allowed to have shit but scotch tape at my motherfucking house. And men, watch your temper. Damn, you be that mad when you gotta kill a bitch? You got to knock a bitch off? I wouldn't have shit but butter knives in the house. How the fuck this steak knife get up in here? Who brought this steak knife in here? We don't even eat steak. We vegan in this mother. And you ever realize when a woman just going off, the man always say, man, she crazy. No, motherfucking statistics show that you crazy.
Hi guys, so I'm going to make a follow-up video to my first video about Ashlee Janae, the young woman, the beautiful young woman that unfortunately lost her life and on vacation in Zanzibar with her new fiance. And in my last video, I kind of emphasized the dangers of glorifying 304 or hard wig soft life culture. And while most of the comments agree with me, there were a few that obviously took it a bit personal. And I invite you to get off this video now because you're about to be even more upset. I want to take you guys back to a popular and viral TikTok story that came to mind when I heard of this one. Before I get started, rest in peace to Miss Ashlee Janae. She is absolutely beautiful. This should have never, ever happened, ever. And my point in my videos is to kind of just educate, kind of look at things that maybe people aren't looking at this time. Maybe being the bearer of bad news, but just to prevent things like this from happening in the future. So let's talk about the Danish deception. I followed that story in real time when it was happening with Anyeka and her Danish man that she thought was in the Olympics and rich and all these things. And before she knew it, she was out, her and her family and friends were out of hundreds of thousands of dollars because they got scammed. But you know, he had told her early on he was in the Olympics and he had done this and this and this, all things that were very much verifiable on Google, which she chose not to do, right? Her mistake, and I'm sure she has learned her lesson. However, let's think about why. She didn't think to even try to Google a man that told her he had won the Olympics or was in the Olympics. Why you wouldn't Google that? Not because you think they're lying, but even just to be happy for them, you know? So why did she so readily believe everything he says? Why? Are these ladies blinded by whiteness? I will say, in the Danish deception with Onyeka, I think she was completely blinded by whiteness. A lot of African women commented on my last post and they were upset that I said it's more prevalent, right, amongst African women to be more swoon and desire this particular lifestyle, the pasta and lobster, the soft, hard wig, soft life. And I've seen this amongst African women. I've seen it time and time again. I just like then, I believe Onyeka fell for this Danish deception because he's white. If this was a black man, she would have been verifying things. I'm concerned. As much as I don't want to believe this was maybe a similar situation with Ashlee Janae, I do have to wonder. Because yes, he was worth $45 million. This guy actually was who he said he was. He was actually rich. But look at him. We're not going to ignore the stark difference in attractiveness between him and her when it comes to standards of beauty. Conventionally, she is much more attractive than him. Why are they together? We could say money. We could also say, was her guard down because we're blinded by whiteness, the white knight, or this white savior? I just don't want. I feel like people should be able to date whoever they want and love on whoever they want. Just don't start ingesting reverse racism. Don't start assuming just because they are a particular shade that automatically means they're telling the truth. They are incapable of lying to you, and that they're rich, that they're safe, and that they will not harm you. That is a stereotype and a assumption that could very well lead you to getting completely bankrupted like Onyeka, or God forbid losing your life like Ashlee. I'm just asking or like suggesting for beautiful brown women like myself to always do your due diligence no matter who it is.
It's exactly what I'm saying, what this man has just said. The desensitization of white men. Like actually cleaning them up and making them like it's what I would never buy. Yes, to sanitize them, as she says. It's the most problematic thing that has ever happened. The most problematic programming that has ever happened. Like, it's crazy to me, guys. It's crazy.
So yet another gorgeous woman has lost her life to the hands of a man. I did a quick deep dive into this case and I came up with 5 signs, 5 consistent signs men will show you if they would be willing to take and end your life. Before I start, my name is Anita. I give you guys tips and tricks that can save your life. So far, you ought to hit that follow button. Let's go. Now, if y'all don't know already, I talk about this on my page a lot. This is the millionth case I've seen where a woman has lost her life to the same man that married her. Willingly married her, by the way. And yes, black men do this too. I see a lot of people in the comment sections going like, oh, I'll stick to my black kings, da-da-da. Babes, look, not to come at the black kings, but they're just as bad. I might even argue worse. Y'all saw one case, where it was a white man and whatever. Also, just remember that not everything you see on social media is real. Those things that they were posting online, y'all take that and run with it and think that one clip is what their entire life is. When in reality, I can be staring at this camera now, but the second I turn it off, I can go over there and start crying. You just never know. This is not real life. So sign number 1, that a man is willing to take your life. He never, and I mean he never, looks happy with you, especially when taking pictures. They take pictures together pretty often, as you can see, and in pretty much all these pictures, this woman pointed out how he was always not smiling, and I peeped that too, and I peeped this in a lot of other crime documentaries where men took their women's lives, and I noticed a pattern here. They never smile in pictures, and it's scary too because I see couples that are doing these exact same things right now, and if I call it out now, I'm gonna sound like a hater, right? But God, I pray for these people. There's a lot of Facebook couples that I be seeing on Facebook, and I'm just like, God bless their souls. These are really lining up to everything I've watched on Crime of Passion. So yeah, if he never smiles in photos just like this, cut him off, bro, or find what's wrong, because some ain't right. Number 2, he hides things from you a lot. If someone's hiding something from you, no matter how small it is, then it means they're willing to hide something way more significant. And especially in a relationship where you're meant to be open with each other, that is just a no-no. Someone who's willing to hide something from you, especially when it's not that deep, will be willing to take your life, will be willing to backdoor you. Number 3, he's overly spoiling you with gifts. I've seen so many crime documentaries, and besides just the crime documentaries, I've seen women that have gotten cheated on by men, and it's always the same thing. They're always being love bombed with gifts. Trust me, every single time, bro, I've seen personally where the guy is just excessively giving the girl gifts. It might sound like a good thing. I've watched and noted and seen an immense amount of crime documentaries where the man has literally spent his own money on a woman, celebrated her and did the most just to kill her later. They don't give a fuck. Once that anger takes over, it's game over. Number 4, it sounds like he has a motive whenever he's with you. Especially for dating for money, sis. What have we learned? Do not be dating for no damn money. If you don't get to your own fucking bag, like, this is 2026. Money is literally all around you. You do not need a man. It's not worth your life. The last one is if he calls you out of your name and he touches you a lot, but in ways where it's genuinely uncomfortable. You will feel it. Your nervous system knows before your mind does. These are all my signs. Rest in peace, Ashlee. I do predict there will possibly be an increase in situations like these taking place if we don't do something to combat it as soon as possible, because these social media couples are absolutely getting out of hand. And I've just seen way too many lose their lives. That's it for today's video though. I hope this taught y'all something. Don't be dating no man you know you should not be. It ain't worth it. Focus on your goals and build a personality. Develop a life of your own, sweetheart. I love you. Bye.
Hey guys, so I wanted to make this video because this is some advice that I got years ago, and I think it's advice that we all as women need to understand. Ashlee Janae, that has passed away, I hope she rests in peace. This is such a tragic story, and we as women need to take this as a sign. When you go on holiday with a man, a boyfriend, even your husband, okay? It doesn't matter if you see something that is a red flag that doesn't sit right with you. It could be anything. If you go through his phone and you see something, anything, do not go and confront them. Do not tell them anything. Don't react in any way. Don't change your behavior. Don't give them a signal to know that something's off with you. Wait till you get home to your home country where you're safe to take your next steps, because we in the Western world forget that a majority of the world do not have women's rights. The police don't care about women, and on top of that, they are not trustworthy, they are corrupt, and they lack the funding to even do the right procedures for investigations. So it's really important that we understand that, you know, life is unexpected, and control the circumstances. I don't understand. I don't know what had happened. I don't know anything, but this is just a thought to carry with yourselves, that if you're ever abroad and something happens, to, as much as it might hurt or is uncomfortable to hold it in. If you have to continue the holiday, I wouldn't personally if it's that bad, but wait till you get home. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.
Yes, I do agree with this lady who have just spoken. That is great advice. Guys, that is great advice. Guys, you know, right? Even before she just said this, I've always thought to myself, people are really brave to look on their cheating boyfriend's phone and confront them on cheating. They are really flipping brave, because there's no way, guys. Even if my husband for 40 years who I've poured into, guys, if the, like, I'm not gonna say it's never gonna happen, but I don't want it to happen. But just say in a theoretical sense, I'm going out with this boy, it's been tough, let's say it's been some time now, maybe it's my fiance, it's the time now, and maybe it's a relationship that can lead to marriage, and I see he's cheating on me. Guys, if we are on a holiday, God, please let me do it. Holy Spirit, just guide me to do it. I'm gonna take my bags and run. I'm gonna take my bags and run, guys. There's nothing you're gonna tell me, guys. Whew, I'll take my bags and run.
Ladies, just so you know, if you ever catch a man looking at you like this, you need to leave. But before I get started, RIP to Miss Ashlee Janae, because that was a beautiful woman. Look at this woman. She was mesmerizing. She was absolutely gorgeous. And I hate to see a light dimmed so early. But back to this image. The way that he is looking at her does not give love. It does not give infatuation. It doesn't even give lust. It gives possessive. It gives dangerous. I take random photos of my man all the time just to see how he looking at me at any given second. Okay? I don't play. When they don't think that you are looking, they will look at you the way they feel. And this image says a lot. It really does. And I hope that her family continues to seek justice. I know they will, but I hope they do not stop. I hope they do not give up, because the fact that they wanted to just rule this as a self-inflicted unaliving, I don't buy it. Nobody buys it. Okay? Nobody. There are too many incidents where women travel abroad, even go hiking with their significant others, and these men do egregious things when they think nobody's watching them. That woman literally just celebrated her birthday, and it's so heartbreaking how things play out sometimes. But ladies, once you find out that that man hates you, there is nothing that you can do that will make it end in love. Okay? Just tragic. Let me know your thoughts though.
Okay, because hold on, wait a minute. You know what I'm struggling with right now is ever since this controversy with Ashlee is happening, people are really over here vilifying black men, and that I just cannot get with. What I'm struggling with right now is that a lot of black women are pointing the finger at their men as if our men are the worst. Are you serious? Do you need to be checked? Yes, sadly, data chat will show that, but in actuality, the most problematic group is white men. I mean, history has shown us their consistent pattern, their track record. Are we not paying attention? Like, come on, guys. Like, think about it. The problem is that they don't get convicted. As soon as an altercation or a civic dispute happen in their community, you know what happens? They go into their community, they ingratiate them, they offer them a burger, offer them a drink, they say they're a good old boy. You know what I'm saying? It's minimized. It's not taken seriously. That wouldn't help them. Like, but as soon as two black people, melanated people, it's a different situation. They ready to attack both of y'all. I'm not telling you I'm not just spewing what I'm spewing. I'm telling you what I know. Okay? Yeah, if we look at media, yes, they will propagate a certain messaging, white is right, all this stuff, but you actually have to really dig deep. You actually have to really dig deep into the research. Otherwise, you would be fooled to think that they aren't the ones creating the most problems. And my thing is, it's like, they're selling y'all this image, but they're not the Prince Charming. Y'all be so white is sanitized, white is clean, white is purity. No, y'all be talking about, oh, if I was in the back street with somebody, I would be with a bear. I'll be with a white tea man. I'm sorry, I'm not trustful of them. They are the most destructive, the most psychotic, the most harmful, the most deleterious on anybody. History has shown us their track record. I don't know why y'all acting so blind to the truth. Can we please wake up?
She's right, because the thing is, to be fair, I'm not gonna lie, there've been this entree push of the lobster and pasta relationships, swear relationships. Guys, as a black woman myself here, if I'm to get into a relationship with someone who is a white man, that man has to be stupidly rich. Because guys, in our society, and the thing is, this pasta and lobster relationships, it's not something, like say, for example, if you're getting in with someone who is less a white man, and of course there's this discourse of where people are talking about, oh, go where you're appreciated. That is true, it's good to go where you're appreciated. But the thing is, what I would never want to be doing to myself is to be blinded by whiteness. Because I can't say black men are more aggressive than white men. Guys, all the evil in this world that is currently happening, I'm sorry guys, is being perpetrated by white men. It's been perpetrated by white men. So we can't say black men are more violent than white men. No, I will never accept that. Never. I'm likely to say the white men are more violent. Yes, they are. Because what about the wars, the precedents, the most atrocities in history have been committed by white men? Let's not even start. Let's not even start. It always has been committed by white men. Most of the atrocities that are still happening is committed by white men. And some atrocities are unspeakable are committed by white women. What about crying to get the black person in trouble? Using white tears and saying the angry black woman. God forbid. Guys, one thing no one will ever label me as is the angry black woman, because I'm not afraid of that label. I'm not going, like, this is why, and one thing I see on reality TVs are these black women saying, no, I never wanted to speak, because if I speak, it's going to show. Guys, I'm going to flip and speak. If they want to see that angry black woman, they're going to see it. They are going to see it. Because one thing I will not let you do is to gaslight me. I'm not going to let you gaslight me. For what? I will never let you gaslight me. Never. So all this thing of where, like, for example, I'll give you example like of the Landra and Shelley with Huda. God forbid, I will never let you gaslight me, because you try me, I'm going to show you. I'm not going to hit you, but I'm going to talk the way I want to talk. And I'm not afraid. One thing is, as a black woman, is I'm going to learn to grow out of my label as a black woman. I will never ever let someone gaslight me with the angry black woman trope. Call me an angry black woman. Why should I not be angry? When everything in this world is built intricately into a system to actually place me at the bottom pool of how people perceive people in terms of class. Why should I not be angry? It would be madness for me not to be angry. And I don't care if someone says I'm claiming to be a victim. That's your business. I'm not claiming to be a victim. And even if I do, am I not a victim to my circumstances? So this pasta and lobster stuff, I actually entertained the idea. Then when I started actually trying to go through the nuances of it, then I'm like, wait a minute, there's something wrong somewhere. And it brings me back to, like, say, these black couples. Guys, this is why at the beginning, when I started actually not deconstructing, I actually entertained the idea of swell relationships. I'm not saying I do not support swell relationships, but guys, if there's swell relationships on platforms or social media to make profit, there's a flipping problem. Oh, there's a problem. There's a problem when people come online to display swell relationships. I'm not saying that other people are not displaying their relationship for social media, for social currency, but when it comes to swell relationships, it hits a nerve. There's just this nerve that it hits more than if a monoracial couple is either a black couple or a white couple is to come online and monetize a relationship. It just hits different, because there are many nuances to it, whether we like it or not, when it comes to actually monetizing interracial relationships. There are many nuances to it. And we can't just turn a blind eye and say, oh my God, it's not that deep. It's a lie. It's very deep. Guys, when someone says it's not that deep, it is very deep, actually. It's same as when someone votes for somebody and they'll say, oh, it's not that deep, right? When someone votes for somebody and they say, oh, it's not that deep. Yes, damn sure it is that deep. What the flip do you mean? It's that deep. What do you mean it's not that deep? It's that deep. It's that deep. So I understand when she's talking about the swell relationships and how people can be blinded by whiteness, especially in like in the Onyeka situation. How can you be in a relationship with a white man and you're sponsoring it? A white man who in society is easy, like it's very easy for him to make money. Very easy for him to make money. Like very, very easy to make money. It's very easy for him to make money. There are doors in which they'll easily let him in, whether he's got average. All he has to do is just to be white and male. My goodness, what a combination. And this is why, like, what an average man who is not so intelligent, who is white, can have positions of power. Why? I'm not speaking out of my ass. What about that brilliant lady, I've forgotten her name, the brilliant black lady with loads of academic accolades, was running in position with a primary school teacher or is a high school teacher, and voted him over her, who has numerous achievements, numerous years of experience. He's chosen over her. So all these black women who date white men and other races of women who date white men, and they are the ones sponsoring the relationship, God forbid. Oh Lord, I pray, Holy Spirit, it should not happen when it comes to me. I'm just praying, guys, because there is no way, guys, no way. It just doesn't, I don't want it to happen. And I pray I never let it happen, because it's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Every time a black woman passes away, y'all find a way to blame Shira 7. Instead of holding abusive men accountable, you get up here talking about Shira 7. Ashlee is dead. She is deceased. Her life was taken. And your first thought is to get up here and post pictures of Ashlee and start talking about how Shira 7's content is the reason black women are dying. Black women have been dying since before Shira 7 was fucking born. Okay? So we can't blame a woman for a man's actions. That continues the cycle of abuse. Every time a black woman passes away, y'all get to talking about Shira 7. This is why I don't watch Shira 7. This is why I don't like soft girls. This is why I don't like soft life. This is why I don't like that. Soft life content has nothing to do with men being evil people. Men have been evil since the dawn of time. Men have been evil since the dawn of time. Now you're going to place the blame on Shira 7?
And guys, this is it. So when they're talking about, you see, this is why the choice of, you've got to pick right. You've got to pick right. You've got to pick right. That's some bullshit. The thing of, oh, it's because you're not picking right. It's because you're not picking right. It's because you're not picking right. It's just stupid. Oh, you're not picking right. It's because you're not picking right. Guys, look, this guy was a mayor. And what that man was saying, well, in the previous video, where if you file for a divorce, you have to be very careful. Even that 2 years thing they're giving, that what about that pastor who, oh my God, I hate bringing pastors into this, because they're supposed to be the symbol of what God has, let's say, like a leader God has put for them to shepherd his sheep. But I don't even want to drag the name of a pastor in the mud, but let's just leave it aside. About the pastors where they was found in the bushes, then what about this one where you file for a divorce and after 2 years you're still not clean? Oh Lord, have mercy, please God. Any anger that I've got, Holy Spirit, just take it away from me, because there is no way that people walk around with this so much anger, where you're killing people whom you once slept with and had children with. Like, how is it so normal? Guys, how is it normal? How is it normal? Guys, explain to me, because I can't understand for the life of me. I can't. I just can't for the life of me. Even the 2 year mark where they say your partner is more likely to kill you after the divorce, it's even too much. What about 10 years, guys? Even what about 4 years? What about 6 years? Why can't... You know what? Let's just go to the next video.
But you know who ain't posting about these conversations while black women are being killed and tortured and stolen from their children? Your favorite gossip bloggers who build a foundation on creating spaces to make sure that real black women are loved and protected by spending their days talking about trans women and platforming DL foolishness conversations. Why don't you could bring this conversation to your masses along with the mess. It was just, if you could just cut the mess with some information, my God. But I just thought, I was like, oh, where are those posts? Because no one's going to give you a ad to put under that post. And they will rage bait you into monetizing your blackness. They don't give a fuck. Ain't no way we've lost one after another these black women in the last few weeks. And why ain't you having to sit down? Why aren't you doing that deep dive? You over on Zillow trying to find people's fucking addresses. Figure it out.
Like coming up to the discussion of like the recent rates of, let's say, femicides, especially like black women actually dying from the hands of their partner, has been too much. And I do agree with when someone say they do monetize blackness. I do believe when people also monetize blackness, people also monetize their whiteness. What do you think? I remember one of this person. I remember, is it George Johnson? He was talking about there was this video of one white girl actually that came out. She was actually saying racist things. So he was saying that she doesn't actually believe that girl's racist. That actually, that, guys, if you do not know yet, oh no, I'm not going to give you guys any ideas because I don't want you guys talking down on people who look like me because you're trying to make a quick buck. But guys, if you notice, like most of these people who come out, like all these conservative people, guys, they are being paid. They are being paid to talk about this stuff. Like one black woman was saying she wanted to taste how it means to be a Republican. So she was posting Republican propaganda. And each post is $400. Each post, $400. Imagine if you post 6 posts, you say each email you send is $50. Each propaganda email you send to anybody is $50. Guys, tell me why they don't make bank. Meaning every video that a conservative woman is going to make, they might pay her $2,000 for that video, $2,000 for that video. So imagine that you're a conservative person pushing conservative Omega Republican rubbish. You're getting paid. And some of them are truly racist, some of them are not. But to be fair, I'm going to treat you as one, even if you're not. If you're going to choose to take money to taint your morality, I'm going to treat you as such. It also applies to black celebrities. Guys, at this point, I'm just thinking all celebrities are MAGA. Except you come out and actively speak against it. And you should not only come out to just come and, let's say, have this performative outburst or performative, so people should say, oh, you're not associated with the party. If you're truly in what you are, what you perform outside, if that is what you're applying in the voting booths, then I can say, okay, truly he or she's not mega. But guys, at this point, all rich people, or unless proven otherwise, all celebrities are MAGA. Seriously, to be honest with you, they are MAGA. Because you can't tell me that, let's say, I've been wanting to make a video for a while, but I think I'm going to hold on it. You can't tell me all these big black celebrities, or even celebrities at all, who were Libra in the past, who say, oh, I voted for Obama, so all of a sudden you're a Republican because of the tax cuts? Because of the tax cut. It's the same thing that's happening to, Caitlyn Jenner, which we're going to discuss very soon in this video. So how can you think you're voting against your best interest, but because your white man was transitioning to a white female, you're gonna be exempted? Guys, it's crazy.
How so many of y'all got a problem with the girl Ashlee Janae's family starting to GoFundMe? Why her fiance ain't paying for it? He rich. I thought she had money. She was on a private jet. If you're not gonna go fund her, then stay out of their business. I mean, that girl done died. Y'all the main ones online talking about he killed her. So why would he give money to help them come find him, to come help them crack a case that he guilty from? I believe he did it too, so I used my spidey senses. And I said, well, of course he ain't gonna answer the phone or help them get money to get to Zanzibar to crack the case, because he did it, allegedly. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Stop asking questions that's dumb, putting it all online. That's like O.J. Simpson paying for Nicole Simpson's lawyers in his murder case. Why would he do that? If y'all gonna keep up with this story, y'all gotta use your skills like the little white lady in Murder, She Wrote. Use your skills. Then y'all complaining that the family all had on cream, color coordinated, which was a little odd. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, y'all, we gonna all wear cream to the interview. I don't understand that neither, but the real issue is who did it? Not who told everybody to wear cream, but who killed the girl, or did she do it herself? That's the big case we trying to crack. But I would like to know who told all of them to wear cream. I want to know who set that up. Maybe that was her favorite color. I don't know. I don't know the young lady. I've never even seen her before. It's just a sad story. But who told y'all to wear cream?
Guys, in regards to GoFundMe, if the family wants to make, like, let's say, a GoFundMe for them, I don't see no problem. I really don't see any problem at all, to be frank. Yeah, I don't really see any problem, to be fair.
being a good guy or a nice guy is not enough. People often argue that there are good men out there, but I argue that being a good man is not enough. CNN recently discovered an online Grape Academy where up to 62 million men teach each other how to drug and grape their wives. So they were literally husbands of wives, and upload the video for other men to watch. This involved a group chat with hundreds of thousands of men where they buy and sell substances to intoxicate their wives and teach each other the proper way to or not to do it, filming and uploading these videos to a site where up to 62 million men visited in February alone before it was uncovered. United Nations data shows that over 50,000 women and girls are unalived intentionally by their intimate male partners or family members, which is around 137 women unalived per day by their male partners or male family members. This makes being unalived by a man, especially a male partner or a family member, one of the leading causes of death for women. A man is not a good man because he takes you out to dinner and pays for dates. Ashlee Janae was allegedly unalived mysteriously whilst on a trip to Tanzania with her partner. She obviously believed that he was a good guy because his photos are plastered all over her social media. We have a male problem. We have a deep, deep male problem. And a man is not good enough until he understands that he was born and socialized into misogyny and is actively unlearning it within himself and is proactively challenging harmful commentary and behavior in other men. You can argue not all men, but when we think about all the men who are complacent, who observe these things happening to women and say nothing, then it's all men. Many men have friends who talk about how they treat women horribly, bragging about how they sleep with women who initially said no, how he made sure he got his money's worth after paying for dinner for that woman, and they just giggle. Even when they know deep down that this is wrong, they fear being mocked by other men, that they would allow violence against women to just continue. If it meant they wouldn't be called weak by other men, such protectors. If men started holding each other accountable, attacking and shaming these behaviors within their circles, these issues would drastically reduce. Male complacency is a huge part of the problem, if not the biggest part. Not all 62 million men drugged and raped their wives, but all 62 million men watched and said nothing. A decent man should never feel entitled to a woman's body, time, or energy. A decent man should respect and know without trying to convince, not even once. A decent man should see women as full human beings who are equal to him. A decent man does not feel entitled to his partner's body or labor. Someone once said, many women would marry rapists who were never caught, and that sat with me.
And when that woman was talking about, oh, this is why they're not good men, it's true. I've never ever spotted the idea of good men, and so because a man is good, oh, that makes him eligible for marriage. Guys, why is it they expect so little from men and expect so much from women? Because if it's the thing, if it's the give good is the standard where many people are required to get married, guys, every woman in this world would have been married, because your average man is your let's say the most greatest. I'm talking about I know that I'm using two superlatives closer to each other. Yes, guys, hear me very well. The most greatest man is your world's average woman. Let's just get that there. Let's get that clear. Your most average woman. So this good man, as I grow and grow and grow, now I'm starting to realize that the, in quotation marks, good man, being a good man is never enough. What do you mean 62 million people watched their, like, it's like this bro code. It's like they're performing for each other. 62 million. You're telling me 62 million watch many times and how they raped, how the drug raped their wives? It goes to show me where this woman on TikTok was saying that men, the reason why men are not attracted to women who will easily give away sex to them is because men love that struggle. That struggle of, let's say, no, I don't want it. No, I don't want it. They find it sexy. They find it sexy. It's, wow. They find it sexy. So why your wife is there, right? In some cases, like 60% of those men who drug raped their wife were in this community or website of drug raping their wife. If they would have asked their significant other for sex, they would have given it to them on a silver platter. Even if 40% out of those 100 men were refused sex, right? If you think it's such a great deal with between you and your partner, why can't you break up with her and go and be with someone who will be able to maybe sleep with you when you want? Not, well, when I say when you want, that's a little bit misogynistic, I'll admit, but someone who you can actually be together and do what you want the person to do with you together. Why do you like this struggle of having complete autonomy over what goes on with your body and what other person's body? Oh, Jesus, help me. I'll never do that. Never. It doesn't even sound cute in my brain. Never. It's crazy to me, guys. Crazy to me. Bye, guys. Just crazy to me.
Hey, babe. I want you to try to do the 6ix9ine impression.
He murdered her. She asked for a divorce. He started stalking her. And then vandalized their home. Like, he left the house, vandalized their home later, installed an app on the daughter's iPad to listen in. He heard a male's voice. He went there and he shot them. He shot the guy she was with 3 times, and then he shot her. He made their daughter an orphan. Violence against the victim increases by 75% after separation for the first 2 years. So the next time you ask someone why they didn't just leave.
According to court documents obtained by News 4, Serena Fairfax filed for divorce from Justin in 2025. Just last month, the Fairfax County judge granted custody of the children to Serena and ordered Justin to move out of the home by the end of April. In the custody opinion, a judge wrote, quote, "The wife testified that heavy daily alcohol consumption by the father has become the norm." The court documents say Justin Fairfax spiraled into alcoholism and isolated himself from family involvement following the 2019 sexual assault allegations against him while he was in office. Allegations he denied, but still weighed on him tremendously, the judge wrote. During the custody battle, the judge also found, quote, "The evidence also showed that in 2022, the father purchased a handgun with money intended for his children's horseback riding lessons." During the divorce proceedings, Serena Fairfax installed cameras throughout the family's home, according to police. Police say those cameras were rolling last night, just like they were back in January when Justin called police to claim that Serena had assaulted him.
We reviewed those cameras and we corroborated that the alleged assault never occurred.
Court documents show evidence that Serena Fairfax was actively involved in her children's lives, finding no evidence that Serena ever engaged in inappropriate conduct and maintained great relationships with the 2 kids. The court found, however, that Justin was currently unable to have a healthy relationship with his kids due to his alcohol use and self-isolation within the home.
I would never want to be with a person who would rather take my life than for us to move on amicably, or even if we beefing, to just move on. So, ex-lieutenant governor, this man up here, I don't even want to say his name, decided that he was going to take his soon-to-be ex-wife's life and his life in a murder-suicide. He is a public figure out of Virginia. And the children were upstairs, and the child had to call 911 to let the police know that his mother and his father had an altercation and he didn't know what was going on. Like, that is so traumatizing within itself. And I don't know if the home was purchased. So these kids probably don't want to be in that home anymore because it was so traumatic. And, you know, they were going through a messy divorce. But that is the most cowardly, selfish thing that he did, because the aftermath are the children. When the grieving process starts after the funeral, after the arrangements or whatever the situation may be, the loved ones who are left with that hurt is what really, you know what I'm saying, touches me, what has to be addressed here. But we're going to send prayers to the family in their time of grief and bereavement. The condolences need to be flooded because This was crazy. Like, I never want somebody to love me so much that they want to kill me. Like, no, y'all know what to do. Get in the comments. Let's go. But this is a sad situation. Very, very sad.
62 million men. 62 million men worldwide attended an online RAPE academy in the month of February alone, where they learned how to assault women without detection, including in their sleep, according to a new CNN investigation. And this is what I want men to start understanding. This is what's scary about men. Not just that 62 million men went to this website for some reason, be it for giggles, for curiosity, for actual information so they can be better predators. No, it's that this idea that 62 million men went to this site and nobody told. It's this idea that men seem to have where it's just one guy running around in circles really, really fast and nobody's doing anything to stop him. No, 62 million men went on that website and you think they didn't tell a single friend? Which means that there are a few options here. Option one, 62 million men went on this site, told a friend, they also went on that site, and it ended there. They got in on it. Another option, 62 million men went on that site, some told a friend, the friend told the authorities did nothing. Also terrifying. But realistically, for a lot of them, it's that one of these 62 million men told a friend and the friend did nothing at all. Said, oh my God, bro, that's crazy. And that's the one y'all be like, oh, he's a good guy, he didn't do it, but he knew about it and said nothing. 62 million men were on this site worldwide, and we're hearing about it today, when that was back in February. Yeah, stay lonely, die lonely.
Like, coming up to the discussion of like the recent rates of, let's say, femicides, especially like black women actually dying from the hands of their partner, has been too much. And I do agree with when someone say they do monetize blackness. I do believe when people also monetize blackness, people also monetize their whiteness. What do you think? I remember one of this person. I remember, is it George Johnson? He was talking about this recent, there was this video of one white girl actually that came out. She was actually saying racist things. So he was saying that she doesn't actually believe that girl's racist. That actually, that, you know, guys, if you do not know yet, oh no, I'm not going to give you guys any ideas because I don't want you guys talking down on people who look like me because you're trying to make a quick buck. But guys, if you notice, like most of these people who come out, like all these conservative people, guys, they are being paid. They are being paid to talk about this stuff. Like one black woman was saying she wanted to taste how it means to be a Republican. So she was posting Republican propaganda. And each post is $400. Each post, $400. Imagine if you post 6 posts, you say each email you send is $50. Each email, propaganda email you send to anybody is $50. Guys, tell me why they don't make bank. Meaning every video that a conservative woman is gonna make, they might pay her $2,000 for that video, $2,000 for that video. So imagine that you're a conservative person pushing conservative Omega Republican rubbish. You're getting paid. And some of them are truly racist, some of them are not. But to be fair, I'm going to treat you as one, even if you're not. If you're going to choose to take money to taint your morality, I'm going to treat you as such. It also applies to black celebrities. Guys, at this point, I'm just thinking all celebrities are MAGA. Except you come out and actively speak against it. And you should not only come out to just come and, let's say, have this performative outburst or performative, so people should say, oh, you're not associated with the party. If you're truly what you are, what you perform outside, if that is what you're applying in the voting booths, then I can say, okay, truly he or she is not mega. But guys, at this point, all rich people, or let's say, unless proven otherwise, all celebrities are MAGA. Seriously, to be honest with you, they are MAGA. Because you can't tell me that, let's say, I've been wanting to make a video for a while, but I think I'm going to hold on it. You can't tell me all these big black celebrities, or even celebrities at all, who were Libra in the past, who say, oh, I voted for Obama, so all of a sudden you're a Republican because of the tax cuts? Because of the tax cut. It's the same thing that's happening to, is it Caitlyn Jenner, which we're going to discuss very soon in this video. So how can you think you're voting against your best interest, but because you thought because your white man was transitioning to a white female, you're gonna be exempted. Guys, it's crazy.
These 62 million men, I can beat my chest that they have never met. Most of them they have never met.
You don't mean it. 62 million. 62 million. The figures you dey wrong, go. It's like 400 billion.
Now, I saw this article that was released by CNN, and it says, exposing a global grape academy. In shocking group chats, men encourage one another to drug and assault their wives and swap tips on getting away with it. One motherless user claimed to be running a business selling and dispatching sleeping liquids to any address in the world. The man, who said he was based in Ceuta, a tiny Spanish enclave on the North African coast, said on his Telegram account that it would cost 150 euros, approximately $175, for a bottle of the liquid that he said was tasteless and odorless. Your wife won't feel 18 and won't remember anything, he said, and people paid $20 to view. I'm done. Nah, I'm done. This is crazy. Like, I'm done. Tajibo Onyoshi, thank you for the correction. Thank you for pinpointing the fact that CNN might have been exaggerating the fact that there are men who actually visited an online grape academy. Thank you very much for correcting her, because that is what we should be focusing on at this point, and not the fact that there was a global grape academy online and people that look like me and you visited that page. Because I am angry that there was a global network of men who were teaching each other how to drug and grape their wives. I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that hundreds of thousands of men knew this network existed and they said absolutely nothing until it was uncovered. But sure, go ahead, correct her that the number was not up to 62 million, and avoid talking about the fact that people who look like you and me are practicing this sort of evil. Ajibonyushi. People are livid, shocked at this, but you are so focused on proving that she is lying. I mean, CNN confirmed it and issued a statement, but you that live in one corner of a third world country is telling your audience that it is a lie. There is one thing I have learned over the years from speaking on men's violence against women is this. People often focus less on the atrocity itself, and when I say people, I mean a lot of men focus less on the atrocity itself and more on whether the statistics fall within an acceptable margin of that evil that was perpetrated. Not even on the hundreds of thousands of views on the driving video, not the group chat on Telegram, not even that Giselle Pelicot that was married to a man for 16 years before she found out that her husband has been doing this same thing to her. Not even the good guys that saw that something was wrong, but they did not say anything, they just kept scrolling. The number is the issue for you, Ajibo Onyoshi. The number for you is the issue. Now let us say 10 men had a grape academy online where they are teaching themselves how to drug and grape their wife. Would that be real enough for you, Ajibo Onyoshi? Not all men, but every time an evil breaks out on social media, a man is behind it. Ask yourself how someone, because you don't need a soothsayer to tell you that the idea behind the Grape Online Academy came from a man. How do you sit down and come up with something like that? To set up a global Grape Academy where you teach men how to do this sort of evil to their wives, and not even one of them came out to report it and say, no, this is wrong. They are learning to grape women while they are unconscious. Jesus Christ. So Ajibo Onyoshi, let us focus on the fact that this might be wrong than the fact that an evil like this is actually going on in the world. Let's ignore the fact that it is happening, and you, Ajibo Onyoshi, focus on the numbers. Focus on the fact that these people might be lying on the numbers and not the fact that something like this actually happened.
62 million men were reported by CNN this week to have visited an online rape academy. Actually, that's not what the article said. It was 62 million visits to the website, not 62 million men. And most of those visits weren't even to the rape academy part of the site. That was only a couple 100,000 views. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you so much for correcting me, because that's what we should be focusing on. I was about to be furious. I was about to be genuinely upset that there was a global network of men teaching each other how to drug and rape their wives. I was about to sit with the fact that hundreds of thousands of other men knew this network existed and said nothing. But only 200,000? Crisis averted. Thank you. Seriously, thank you for making sure the conversation online about this stays focused on the methodology of the headline instead of the actual content of the article. Because if there's one thing I've learned making videos about men's violence against women, it's that the most important part of any given atrocity is whether the statistic cited was within the acceptable margin of error. Not the hundreds of thousands of views on the drugging videos, not the group chats on Telegram, not the fact that one of the survivors was married to this man for 16 years before she found out, not the good guys who saw something in a forum or a group chat and kept on scrolling. The number is the issue. Let's talk about the number.
Not all men, but there are 62 million men. 62 million men visited the website within 1 month. What are they doing? They're learning how to rape women when they are unconscious. I just saw this article published by CNN. Apparently, there's a global rape academy where men encourage one another to drug and assault their wives and swap tips on how to getting away with it. They're selling liquid that is completely tasteless and odorless. Your wife won't feel anything and won't remember anything, the seller says. Within the website, the live streams are quite popular. They're showing the abuse of drugged women in real life for $20 per viewer. And when the survivor reported to the police, this is what she'd been told. Well, we cannot use that. That isn't clear evidence because it looks like you are pretending to be asleep. Honestly, I don't know what to say. I think women are not angry enough.
Why do women not feel safe around men? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with the fact there was a website called a Grape Academy which talked men through how to grape somebody who was sleeping or drugged. It's to do with the fact that 62 million people clicked on that website. That's 62 million times that somebody's gone on there to look at instructions on how to sexually assault people. Could it be something to do with that? We are wondering why women cross the road at night time when they see us. You cannot blame them when you read stuff like this. The bar is underground. Gentlemen, do much better. I'm absolutely mortified as a man.
62 million, fellas. 62 million. Trigger warning, so ladies, if you've been impacted by this, and probability says it's likely, then you are more than welcome to scroll on. This one's actually for the fellas anyway, so you can leave us to it. So guys, if you are unfamiliar, 62 million, what does that number mean? CNN put out an article in which they did some investigative reporting and found a website that received 62 million hits in the month of February alone. And what was on that website? It was video of husbands sedating their wives and then taking advantage of them. That is 62 million sets of eyeballs that knew as they entered onto this site that what they were looking for were men, their wives. If you hear that and your stomach turns a bit, fucking good. It should. It is appalling. There are two things I need you to understand before you roll your eyes, act as if this is not your problem, and move on with your day. The first one is there are going to be plenty of men that hear this information, know that they're not on the website, so it's not their problem. That's not me. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I have a family and a job. Like, these guys clearly must be basement dwellers hanging out in their mom's basement all day long doing these sickening things. Newsflash, with numbers that big, the likelihood that these men are walking amongst us, also having jobs, also having families, pretty likely. So even though it might not be you, it is men that look, talk, and behave like you. And the second point is related to the first. This site is a symptom. The president is a symptom. Andrew Tate is a symptom. These manifestations of heinous humanity, it is the effect of a cause, and that cause comes from men not checking other men, not calling out the bullshit that eventually leads to harm towards women. This doesn't happen overnight. This is a small trickle effect of a baby step outside of the bounds of what we would deem to be safe and normal within society. We laugh it off. We think it's a silly joke. They push the envelope further and further and further, and then we end up with some level of acceptance and normalcy of this fucking bullshit. And when these symptoms show up, when they exist in the world, they're right in front of your face. If we roll our eyes and act like it's not our problem, they will continue to exist. But if there are good men that still exist, which I know and believe to be true because I work with them every single day, our job is to step up and stand up to guys that are testing the boundaries of what would be safe and healthy for the women that we love and care about. If we turn a blind eye to it because we don't see ourselves with these people, we don't associate with these people, therefore it's not our problem, we are just passively allowing it to continue. I hope to God that you are not one of the men that went to this website knowing what you were about to get into. And if that's the case, the best thing you can do in this moment is to listen to women that are coming out and sharing their stories to make sure that there's more and more context being heard and understood about the harm that can be done to them. Pay attention to those stories, take them in, fully understand them, and stop dismissing the bullshit of other men. If you have any level of integrity left in your body, that's what our job is, to call out the bullshit so that it does not become this snowball effect into the most heinous things that we could imagine.
I lost my virginity to a pedophile. I was 15, anorexic. He was 58. He was my teacher. For months he groomed me and then abused me almost every day. Before school, after school, in my uniform, on the floor. Publicly, he described his crimes as awesome and enviable. Publicly, I was silenced by law. Not anymore. I remember him towering over me, blocking the door. I remember him saying, "Don't tell anybody." I remember him saying, "Don't make a sound." Well, hear me now. Using my voice amongst a growing chorus of voices that will not be silenced. Let's make some noises.
And guys, I do agree with what this man was saying. Like, someone came on TikTok with what, I don't know if it was the other day, she said most of the the beauty standards that we have is rooted on the pedophile gaze. Is rooted in the pedophile gaze. And I really didn't pay attention to the video, but watching this girl recount her story, wow, it's ridiculous. What does a 15-year-old God forbid, what does a 15-year-old girl have in common with a very elderly 58-year-old man? Guys, please make it make sense. Make it make sense. Just make it make sense. What are you doing with her? What relationship do you guys have in common? What? Tell me, guys, what? Quite sad.
I think what this website really exposes is the fact that men, broadly speaking, fall into three categories. The first category is those men who are perpetrators of abuse and violence against women and girls. And we've seen just the stats more generally globally on, sexual assault, rape, domestic violence, femicide, and obviously the men who are drugging and raping their wives at this scale and coaching other men who are also doing that. It's absolutely horrific. Then you get a second category of men who think they are good guys. They're good guys because they visit that site and they see themselves as good because they're not doing it. So they're watching the abuse and doing nothing about it. It's very similar to what happened with Giselle Pellicott. People remember the 50 men who were convicted alongside her husband. There was another 60 plus who couldn't be identified. But you know what? There were thousands and thousands of men who saw what was happening. They went on there, watched it, saw what was happening. They knew they were invited even to take part, and they said no, but they just didn't do anything about it. They didn't hold him, Giselle's husband, and those other men accountable. That is a significant proportion of men globally. Once you take those first two categories, you've probably gone through most men in the world. And then you have a small category of men who will actually do something, who challenge other men and hold other men accountable. I bet you, right, if you looked at that website and went, are there any men there who actually reported this and did some or tried to do something about it? It would be like looking for...
This is a hard clip to play, but please listen.
Let's start with a number that it stops you in your tracks. Every 21 hours. That's how often, according to the research we're looking at today, a black woman in the United States is killed by an intimate partner. That's not just once a day, it's more. It's a staggering reality, and it's at the very heart of a really tough question.
I remember the first time I heard the term black femicide. It was 2020. It was the peak of COVID, the peak of the Black Lives Matter protests, and a 19-year-old activist named Toyin was tragically unalived. She was trying to get away from home. She was staying in a church, and an older man presented himself to her as someone who could help. And she ended up getting assaulted by that man. And she tweeted about it She posted several tweets about what he did to her. And she wasn't listened to. And she ended up being unalived along with a 75-year-old white woman. Toyin in her short life was abused by her family. She was essayed multiple times. And yet she still went out and she still advocated for black men. She advocated for black lives in general. And Toyin's not the only one. There are other black women who also have been assaulted and abused by black men, but still go out and they still march for us. They still go out and they still protest for our lives.
This chart really puts the severity of the problem into perspective. Now, you might think that globally, men face more lethal violence, and that's true. But here in the US, the story is different. As the author shows, black women are actually killed at higher rates than white men. And this isn't some new trend. This has been true for decades. It's a reality that completely flips our usual assumptions about who is most at risk.
And the thing that just really makes my blood boil is that there are black men who try to downplay the seriousness of this. There are black men who try to make it seem like it's not that big of a deal, that, that we as black men still get unalived more. They try to do the whole, not all black men are like this, but wouldn't it just make more sense to stand beside black women and to hold the black men accountable that are doing this to black women, instead of trying to paint yourself as not being like that? The more you try to downplay this and the more you try to deflect away from this being a thing, the worse it's gonna get. This is not the first video that I've made about black femicide, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the last one, because sadly, it is still a serious issue. It's something that I care about, helping however I can combat against. And, yeah, it just really makes me sad, man. It's just heartbreaking, I love black women, and it's just really sad seeing some of my fellow black men downplay this, make excuses for it, and try to make it seem like it's not that big of a deal.
Zayn has given a health update after postponing an event planned this week with Banquet Records. He thanks fans for their support and said it's been a long week, unexpectedly recovering, and he's heartbroken that he can't see everyone this week. This is, of course, a massive week for Zayn, as he has just released his 5th solo album, Chronicle, and he had a Q&A planned at Banquet Records, which was cancelled earlier in the week, due to illness. And as always, this is a speculation from fans, with some fans being very, very angry because this isn't the first time he's had to cancel an event. Twice actually at Banquet Records. And I get why fans might be angry when something is cancelled. However, I always think it's important to know the full story before you start making any kind of allegations or claims against the artist. And it kind of seems like Zayn using this photo of him in a hospital bed is proving that actually, yeah, he needed to be off. He couldn't physically make it to these events. And it's sad that he's had to do that. All I do know for sure is that his new album is an absolute banger. And I really, really hope Zayn gets
even when, let's say, guys, I don't know if you guys are familiar, there was this festival called the Ozura Festival back in Nigeria, where men were allowed to grape women in broad daylight. Meaning, if you're a woman, you came outside that day, you're gonna get raped, and you can actually take the person to jail. You get raped. Can you imagine to be raped? You in their right senses come up with such festivals. Say it's a graping festival. So if there's a graping festival, right, there is also a website where you can grape men. And that is why when it came out, right, there was no way I was going to throw the Nigerian men under the bushes or throw them and say, oh, it's only in, well, it is only in Africa where, not only in Africa, well, it is only in a place like Nigeria where they'll make such things publicly known. Guys, the fact that they were raping women in that Ozura festival is very shameful to make it that public. But does it mean that it's only, let's say, black men or let's say the African men who do that? It's a life from the pits of hell. Why do you think that Epstein list exists? Why do you think they take the atrocities to islands, to communities where people are not private yet? So if now there's, let's say, a website where 62 million men go there to perform for one another, how they rape their significant other, then at the means, is it different men from the Ozoro festival where Nigerian men or particular men from the Delta state were allowed to rape their women? It's not different, guys. It's the same people. Men are men, regardless of the race. Men are men, and it's not the pattern. The thing is, the reason why I keep bringing this African men or Nigerian men is because when people see it, even the people who are, let's say, even the men who are in that 62 million grape website are gonna criticize and say they're primitive. Which primitive? You're also primitive if you're going online to join 62 million men of different races. Guys, that's 62 million men. They were from different continents of the world, unifying together in rubbish that you cannot understand. Like, it's not, I don't know why it's shocking me every time. I should not be shocked by now, but each time you hear of the atrocity, the rate of black femicide, the rate of femicide as a whole, in total. Guys, I live in England, so if you hear that, Folly plain hell. Let me not even talk about the atrocities. Like, let's just talk about the atrocities in general in the whole world. So to hear about that, to hear about this, so now, what's the difference between the Ozoro Festival and these 62 million men?
Louis Tomlinson has said he will never speak to Zayn again after a physical altercation happened on set. The incident happened during the filming of a multi-million-pound project for Netflix. The show was supposed to feature the two bonding over their shared memories of fame, but the project has now been cancelled after the massive feud. Sources say the situation spiraled when Zayn made a remark about Louis's mom, who passed away in 2016. Louis was reportedly in shock when Zayn reacted by swinging his hand at his face. Because Zayn was wearing rings, it caused a mark on Louis's head and had to be taken away for treatment. The feud happened outside in front of many people and left everyone watching in total disbelief. Netflix decided to cancel the project last month after realizing the two would not be reconciling anytime soon. People close to the situation saying that the two have not spoken since the event happened 6 months ago. One source said Louis will never speak to Zayn again after this. It's completely unforgivable. He feels Zayn has always been impossibly hard to get along with, and this was the final straw. Fans are devastated that the reunion show will never happen, but many understand why Louis wants to stay away. But before you go, I want to know, do you think it's possible for them to ever be friends again?
So allegedly, Zayn made a comment about Louis' late mom and then punched him. It was sometime last year, so now apparently their Netflix docuseries is not going to air. In December, it was already announced that their docuseries was paused indefinitely because apparently they got into some heated argument at a bar. I just think it's so weird though how Zayn's new album came out yesterday and then this comes out today. It's now also being said that Louis hasn't followed Zayn on Instagram. I don't know when these interviews about the show were filmed, but they were recently aired, and basically a lot of people are saying, hey, like, he looks way too happy talking about working with Zayn. Keep in mind, they hadn't been friends since 2015 after Zayn left the band and the whole Naughty Boy thing happened. They rekindled their friendship sometime May last year when Zayn started following Louis on Instagram and everyone freaked out. Around October, the whole docu-series was announced. So they originally stopped being friends after Zayn left One Direction because Naughty Boy, which is this dude right here, some DJ, producer, whatever, posted this and then Zayn retweeted it. Louis tweeted that being like, huh, you remember when you used to think that these MAC filters made you look so cool, whatever, some people still do. Naughty Boy says something back and then they go back and forth. Then Zayn responds and it's like, remember when you had a life and stopped making bitchy comments about mine? We had spoken a bit about it on a podcast he was on because he was asked, are you and Zayn friends? And he was like, oh, well, you have to ask him. And then he also mentioned how obviously it wasn't just that, there's also like personal life stuff and all that, and that he doesn't know if he's mature enough. Not if Zayn's mature enough, if he was mature enough to get over the situation.
Louis Tomlinson's loyal sisters have unfollowed Zayn Malik on social media after it was revealed that he punched the star in the face while they were filming their Netflix reality show in America. Influencers Phoebe and Lottie Tomlinson have unfollowed Zayn online but still follow Louis' old bandmates Harry Styles and Niall Horan. Now this obviously comes after the Sun's massive exclusive about the pair getting into a fight filming their Netflix road trip series in America. Netflix have now axed the multi-million-pound project, which was going to show Louis and Zayn bonding and sharing One Direction's memories together. It's such a shame. The Sun revealed that Zayn started acting up during filming and actually mouthed off about Louis' late mum, Joanna. And obviously, Louis was left really, really upset. Apparently, Zayn then attacked Louis and producers had to pull them apart. Now, this isn't the first time that Zayn has been reported of being physical. In 2021, he was accused of attacking baby mama Gigi Hadid's own mother, Yolanda, at her apartment in New York. What do you guys think about this? Please comment below.
There's a lot of noise right now about whether or not Zayn and Louis fought, and that's going to postpone or cancel their new documentary. And there's a lot of responses from fans wondering why they won't correct or provide more information or context on the situation. And the thing about it is you should never seek to explain yourself to people, and neither should celebrities after a certain point. When you constantly explain yourself and your motivations to people, it doesn't take too long for you to start feeling like you're on trial, nor does it take too long for people to start feeling like they're the prosecution. People will start treating you as if you owe them a response for every single thing that you do, and will wait patiently, even in silence, for you to fill in the blanks with information about yourself that they normally would not ask any other person for. Not to mention the constant feeling that you have to explain yourself is exactly what creates and breeds anxiety. So when it's a celebrity person that really doesn't change things, it's not their job to constantly come to us and settle our feelings about their lives. It actually takes from their life to have to constantly do that. Zayn released an album on Friday and is in the hospital and had to cancel a bunch of dates. And it's probably going to get worse for him because while he's in the hospital, there's still a lot of promotional videos and things that he did that has to come out, and people are going to be questioning that. I think the more that we interact with celebrities, we ought to humanize them, because at the end of the day, y'all do spend a hell of a lot of time wondering what's going on with your favorite celebrities while they're doing the things that they're doing. And while we do have bigger fish to fry, humanizing the people that you love most will definitely make you more able to handle what's going on in the world. You need to be able to look at shit and go and kind of understand it, because I felt situations like that in my past too. That way, when things are way bigger, you already have the emotional intelligence to handle those bigger things, like the Epstein files, like Iran. I get that it's pop culture, but it all leads somewhere. Y'all really have to learn how to treat people, because this is insane.
Remember how Zayn Malik and Louis Tomlinson were supposedly going to have this Netflix docuseries that came out? Yep, you'll remember that. Yep, you're with me on that ride. Apparently it's not happening anymore. In December, a source came out and spoke to Star and said that there was an altercation, and basically that was it, docuseries done. Everyone was like, you're not really a reliable source, so we're not going to believe you. Fast forward to now, Page 6 has just done a story. The source originally spoke to The Sun, but Page 6 has now reshared it. According to their source, Zayn and Louis had a fight behind the scenes that was so bad, Louis ended up in hospital. They claimed that Zayn made negative comments about Louis' mum, Joanna, who sadly passed away from leukemia in 2016. The source said Louis was shocked, he went to walk away, but Zayn allegedly attacked him. The exact line is Zayn punched him straight in the face, and because he was wearing rings, it cut Louis' head. Zayn was allegedly pulled off Louis, and Louis was then taken for medical treatment. He was left with a concussion, and this allegedly happened in front of multiple people. Everybody was shocked. According to The Sun, Louis and Zayn haven't spoken since the incident 6 months ago, and the whole docuseries was just scrapped. I do feel as though there's part of the story missing, but let me know what you think in the comments below.
But after watching Louis' interview, Zayn ate. Honestly, he left at the perfect time. If he had waited any longer, we would have had an issue. Like, One Direction could have ended up like NSYNC, where the one person leaves and everybody else ends up like background dancers. We know that JC Chasez carried the fuck out of NSYNC. Those hits, those lines, Tim's baggy jeans, my thug appeal, that is JC Chasez. Destiny swapped with Justin Timberlake. I don't care what nobody says. And Zayn didn't let that happen. He didn't talk to Louis, which was wrong. But he went and talked to the one person he knew had the best chance of getting a solo career. The one person who rumored had their manager, their solo manager, touring with them for the last year of them being together. I was like, hey, you finna leave? And he said, yeah, I sure am. I am finna leave. And Zayn looked at the contracts. He also looked at the change in pay, because remember, with the informant information and North Korea getting involved with James Franco and that other guy, they leaked all of One Direction's pay, which was higher based on who was writing songs and who was not allowed to write songs. Yes. From what I recall, Liam and Louis were paid the most, which I don't really have a problem with, but at the end of the day, who was carrying the bridges? Okay, so that's kind of a mess. So he left before he could end up being turned into one of these background dancers. And honestly, when he did that, he put the whole group on notice. And I think that is very true, considering for the year after that, as y'all have discussed, Niall was like, oh, we're going to get back together. And then all of a sudden he was like, my time there was great, and whatever happens in the future, Mind you, Liam and Louis thought, oh, we'll get back together. So 3 out of 5 were in the know. My man left at the right time. He did leave at the right time. And also, when he left, I rejoiced. I don't care what anybody says. Like, I understand that it was difficult, but like, if you could call the shots by the time like Zayn left, there's no reason you couldn't have fought for him in those interviews. I hated watching their interviews so much. They would ask him questions and then redirect the question to somebody else while he was in the middle of answering, cut him off, or let him sit there the whole time and never answer a question. I hated it. I hated it so much. So when he left, on top of the fact that he looked really sad and dejected, I was like, cool. I was okay with that, especially after that Bill Maher shit. And I'm telling you, on site.
So guys, another topic we'll be talking about is the Zayn Malik topic, of course. Guys, when these people split, is it in 2016 or 2017 that One Direction split? Yeah. Wow. What's huge, they announced it over TV where he said he had to dissolve to like focus on family issues and everything, mental health and stuff. You know, normally when one party breaks, that's what they say, they want to focus on family and stuff. We all know that's PR. And guys, to be fair, I've never really been a fan of One Direction. I've never, even when they're together, even when they split up, I just knew they were overhyped. I don't know if I still stand by that, yeah. I don't know if I understand. I don't know if I understand it. You know, when Zayn left, they said, everybody wanna steal my girl. Everyone wanna take her heart away. Couple million, I don't know that she belongs to me. Na 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 na, yeah. That's when the other person was alive. But they said they've been bathed, guys. People are saying maybe it's a lie that they have been bathed between him and Tommy Lewison. Guys, what you don't understand about the UK is we're so diverse, guys. We are so diverse. That the UK is made up of loads of diverse community. Guys, if you come to London, if you're American, you come to London, whatever part of the world you're living in, guys, Canada, Nigeria, Ghana, if you're coming to visit the UK or to live in the UK, like, there are loads and loads of diversity. But guys, the UK is succinctly, I don't know the word, is it succinctly racist? Okay, I'll use a different word. The UK is very racist, guys, but they're just so subtle about it. In like for example, in America, people come out and the UK is so advanced where it's like they have done loads of PhD on how to be so advanced at being racist. And it's subtle in such a way that even you're a black person will not notice till you've lived here in Britain for some while before you notice, oh my days, that man was being racist, that man was being prejudiced, that man, like, that is when you know that someone was actually being racist to you after years of living here. That's just how timely, shall I say timely, just how accredited the racism is. It carries PhD. It's like they're doing PhD in racism. What America is just doing is high school in terms of the level of how they can disguise racism. Yeah, in the UK they've earned their stripes in being racist. Guys, you just never would know that someone is being racist to you except you understand a little bit of their lingo and you've lived here for some time. So if they said there were causes of racism on, let's say, on the set of, let's say, One Direction, I don't, let me tell you something, as someone who's been in the UK, I don't think that's far-fetched. If Zayn left because of racism and mental health, right now is more than maybe going up to a decade that they separated, I believe I believe that there was racism connected to it because I've been separated for more than a decade now. And I do believe that it was racism. I do believe that it was racism. There's nothing you're going to convince me of not believing. I do believe it. And not Zayn also saying, because when he released that pillow talk, my enemy, my ally, like paradise or whatever, they said he was saying it's a paradise, meaning Perry Edwards, who was his girlfriend for 4 years, who he dumped for, let me not say dumped, because that's misogynistic, who he left for the model Gigi Hadid. I can remember, guys, the timeline when he left Perry Edwards. That time Perry Edwards was still with Little Mix, right? That time Little Mix has not also went from a 4 to 3. There were lots of music that was actually raining. There's shout out to my ex, he really quite made. He make my heart and make me who I am. He's my ex, he can love me now, but I'm up. I say you never bring me down. So guys, I remember it was about Zayn and everything. So guys, oh my days. Then forgetting about how is it Liam Payne who just died, who had a child with all those things. I can remember a little bit of British pop culture. So guys, going back to it, they said the word on the street was they were actually filming a show for Netflix, and the punch was coming from Zayn's side, that he punched Louise. I don't know, is it because it was because there was some altercation and Zayn spoke about his dead mom? Guys, what are we to believe? People are saying they don't believe it. I don't know. I just said let me come here and say it, okay? Since it's part of what we are saying, guys.
And this, my friends, is what it looks like when your privilege starts to run out and you've used your privilege to further marginalize or oppressed already marginalized people because it benefits you. And then you get reminded that you're still a part of that marginalized group and that you're not any more special.
ID. So somebody in my position who has transitioned, I worked very, very hard to make sure everything was changed. I love President Trump, and I think he signed this executive order. I don't know who underneath him was putting this thing together, that all federal documents, it has to be your biological sex at birth. Recently, I had my passport. I had to get it renewed. Comes back gender marker M, because it's not.
And what's so interesting about this is that Caitlyn Jenner positioned herself to be an advocate and a spokesperson for said president. Like, Caitlyn Jenner was really pushing for this person to be the president.
Listen to this nice, and isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
And I think he signed this I had to get it renewed. I sent it back. Comes back gender marker M. Screws everything up. So now I'm in a position, Tommy, that what do I do?
Right.
This is a safety factor, okay? I can't travel internationally anymore, okay? I can't use my passport. So it really creates a big problem. And I'm trying to figure out at this point what to do.
Oh my god, it looks like it's the consequences of your own actions. It's almost like this was something that we tried warning you guys about and y'all tried telling us that we were overreacting. Now, Caitlyn Jenner is upset, obviously, because of the executive order that Donald Trump signed when he got into office that said, hey, you have to have your sex assigned at birth on your passport, not the gender that reflects who you are. Now she's upset because she's saying that she can't travel internationally. It puts her in a dangerous position. And this is something that we warned y'all about. We kept saying that this would happen if you changed the gender marker on a passport. So for example, if Caitlyn Jenner were to go to a country that is hostile towards trans people, okay, and they look at her, who's presenting as a woman, and they look at the passport and they see an M, there is going to be a safety issue there. And again, it's something that we kept saying that would happen, and you guys said that we were fear-mongering. Now you're in this position, and you can't travel internationally, and it is because the man you voted for.
Somebody in there that's trying to save our country and the world. You know, around you got to show ID. So somebody in my position who has transitioned, I worked very, very hard to make sure everything was changed. I love President Trump, and I think he signed this executive order. I don't know who underneath him was putting this thing together, that all federal documents, it has to be your biological sex at birth. Recently, I had my passport. I had to get it renewed. Comes back gender marker M. Because it's not just about me, it's about all people in this situation. What do I do? Right. This is a safety factor. No, I have not talked to the president. I wrote him. I was in Mar-a-Lago. Unfortunately, he wasn't there that weekend. Okay, so I get that, and I'm not blaming him whatsoever. I love the guy. I really appreciate the guy and what he's doing, and thank God, at least we got somebody in there that's trying to save our country and the world. You know?
Jenner's passport was changed to male under Trump's new policy.
Follow for more videos.
So y'all, mega supporter Caitlyn Jenner says she can no longer fly because of a transport policy. So when she went and got her passport, it basically said, guess y'all, male instead of female. But guess what? She knew this was going to transpire when she campaigned and donated to him. He campaigned on basically bullying transgenders, taking immigrants and children away from their families, different things like that. So Caitlyn, I don't feel sorry for you at all. Maybe you need to go talk to him, call him on the phone. I don't think nothing's going to change. At the end of the day, this man has turned his back on every one of his supporters. Tucker Carlson supported him, he attacked Tucker Carlson. Candace Owens supported him, he attacked Candace Owens. So, what's the problem? See, I don't feel sorry for you guys who voted for him and then post, oh, I'm not supporting him anymore because of this and this and that. Y'all already knew that was going to happen.
And guys, to conclude the video, of course, we're going to talk about what we've been waiting for. Slide the drum roll. Yeah, what we've been waiting, that was weak, wasn't it? I can't do really strong drum roll. So with what we've been waiting for, which was Caitlyn Jenner. Guys, I'm not really gonna speak long on her, guys. I don't know if it's kind of rage baiting, I don't know, but I'm not gonna speak long on her, guys. Like, for you to actually think you're gonna vote against your interest, and because you're, well, Caitlyn Jenner, nothing is gonna happen to you, they're gonna bend the rules for you. This is what happens. This is what happens. This is what happens, guys. We need to even talk on a different topic on how they designed MAGA to work. The way they designed it, there are levels to it. So, like, MAGA is one of the things where I just can't wrap around my mind how people are proudly endorsing it. I just can't round it. So, wait, you thought you were gonna vote for a president who was against your community, and because you're Caitlyn Jenner, you've got fame, which, to be fair, you do have fame. You're a multi-level champion Olympian that has represented America for more than who represented America. Your record stands true. But for you to go and get yourself involved because you thought there was gonna be, oh, there was gonna be an exception for me, and look at him to look at Caitlyn to say, oh, I went to the, Caitlyn was saying, oh, I went to the social service, the social service staff and everything. I gave him to the Secret Service to hand over the letter to him. Do you think they'll hand it over to Donald? Do you think they're going to hand over the letter to Donald Trump? Do you think they're going to have it hand it over to is it President Trump or whatever? Do you think they're going to hand it over to him? Or he's a special friend? Let me tell you something, Caitlyn, if he wanted you in around his vicinity, he would have made it happen. He would have made it happen. This is the thing. See, guys, I know in this way you've got to be selfish, but there are levels to the selfishness. There are levels to the selfishness. There are levels to it. And there's levels that you should not be crossing when it comes to selfishness. There are levels you should not be crossing. And that is why when people talk about, oh, I'm voting for him because of my tax, please shut up. When Obama was president, you knew how to escape those taxes, or even, and when I say escape those taxes, you knew how to escape those taxes with legal loopholes. Yes, it was going to cost you, let's say, it was going to be easier for you to escape it in the Trump administration than the Obama administration. But what was rich people doing? Do you think the rich companies was also not getting away with paying little taxes? It has nothing to, it really has something to do with the taxes, guys. It has something to do with being part of an exclusive club. That is what MAGA voters are. Whether it's Spanish, whether it's Hispanic, whether it's white, they all have their reasons, and it has to do with exclusivity to a part. Like, MAGA makes it, like, the way they have designed it to work, they have designed it to, like, let's say it has to be exclusive to rich people, it has to be exclusive to poor white people, it has to be exclusive to friends who are friends of Donald Trump. It's like kind of like it's a blanket. Think of MAGA like an umbrella, and under the umbrella there are different people who it's exclusive to, but that exclusivity itself is sometimes a facade to distract you of the real people it really serves. So why is that a rich man, like, is it a rich woman? I don't know, because she said she's I don't know, she, like Caitlyn was saying he wants, like, I don't know if I should call him a he or a she, because there was talks of this transitioning. There was a time when he, like before Donald Trump was voted in, the Jenner person, when I was supporting him, supporting Donald Trump, supporting his campaign and everything, you're a transgender man. You're a transgender man. No, it's not a transgender man. No, you're a trans woman. You're a trans woman and you're supporting Trump because you think the rules are not going to apply to you. You're a trans woman. You are a trans woman and you're supporting Trump. You're supporting Trump and you're a trans woman? Like, I don't understand. Is this exceptional mentality that will make people suffer? That will make people turn a blind eye to what will affect them. Poor white people were voting for Donald Trump, thinking it's going to change their situation. It's a lie. What about I will vote for Donald Trump? Did they not send one of her family members back? She was crying. She thought it was the black people they were going to send. They were never going to send black Americans. I don't know what people get their attitude from in terms of black Americans. They were never going to send them. Because this is when you know the true history of America. Whether you like it or not, black Americans are Americans. The only person that even should be saying go back to your country are the Indian Americans who were actually driven out of their land in the first place. Those are the only people who've got the autonomy to say who should go back to the country or not. So what were you thinking? That they're going to spare you, a trans woman, and you went and was voting for someone who actively makes it clear on how much he hates your community, and you go and it's kind of like saying you as a trans person voting for Trump. I'm not saying that this will give you automatic, this gives the Democratic an automatic vote. No. Like if I was a trans person, rather than if I don't like the Democratic Party, I will not vote for either the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. But for me to go and vote for the Republican Party, God forbid. The same as a black person, I understand that the Democrats want us to only vote them, but they're not doing anything to help us as a black person. I want to vote them. And this is, and you guys are gonna say, oh no. So if you're gonna say you're not gonna vote for the Republican Party, that automatically means you're gonna let the Republican Party to win. It's a lie, guys. I live in the UK. The go-to party for black people to vote about, let's say, 5 years ago was Labour. If someone would have told us that black people will no longer vote Labour, but we're voting a party called Green, you would have refused. When I came to this country, even just about 2 years ago, if you would have asked me, as a black person, what party are these black people going for? people don't even care about Labour anymore. Black people don't care about Labour. Black people has never even, like, they used to care about Labour, but now the black, like, whenever you reject something, let no one fool you that, oh, because let me tell you something. If marginalized communities start rejecting both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, another party is gonna spring up. Yes, another. What if you think I'm joking? The UK is an example. So guys, we've come to the end of the video. Please guys, please make sure you like the video, hype it as HB suggest, and also please, if you have any thoughts about the video, guys, please share it in the comment section. I'll be happy. But guys, we're going to do it in a nice manner. Thank you.